Hi everybody, I'm going to have a little experiment again in today's video, and today I'm going to be trying to make the bed. And you may be wondering, why am I out in the garden looking at poppies that have finished, but that's because I've got a little plan for them. So I'm going to chop these off and take them into the house and then show you what I am going to get up to. I also have a plan for this dried allium, so I'm just going to remove it here, making sure that I leave all of the seeds behind in the garden, and then I will take all of this into the house. So I've started to do a little plan here for my 4-poster bed. I know that it doesn't mention any poppies or alliums in the drawing. I have my plywood here, and I'm going to start by making a really simple structure that I'm then going to work on and make it look more ornate. So I'm starting here by making a base and a top by making 2 cuboids basically. So I've measured out, and then I have stuck together with my multi-use glue, my multi-purpose glue that I've been using for lots of projects on this doll's house. And I'm just making the sides here for the cuboids. So I've not put the measurements up because I'm not quite sure if these measurements will be accurate or not. I have measured inside my doll's house, but I'm already feeling like this might be a little bit too big, but I'm going to go with it and see how it goes anyway. This is the cuboid that I intend to use for the base. It's slightly bigger than the one that's going to go at the top of the bed, and then once that was drying I then started sticking the one for the top as well, and here they are together. They don't have sides on them here because I ran out of plywood, so I'm desperately hoping that I've got some more in the garage, so I'm going to take you down there to double check. Thankfully there was some, so I finished off those cuboids. However, I then put them into my doll's house to find that I really did feel like they were too big. So I decided that in the base I would drop the top of it down so that the mattress would sink into the base when the mattress is in there, which will make the gap between the base and the top section a little bit bigger. And to drop that down I decided to use some little pots. They're just recycled pots to make sure that it was all the same height. They were too big, so then I went and found some smaller ones, and I glued those smaller ones down, popped a bit of glue on top of them, and then just pushed this section down. I'd managed to prise it off because the glue wasn't actually stuck properly. There we go. So I'm happier with that now because the mattress can sit into the base. And this is the top section here, so imagine that it's got bedposts in between. I also decided just to try and push this bit down. So this is the bit in the ceiling of the bed, the bit that someone would look up at as they were laid there, but I wanted to just push that in a little bit so that it was not right on the edge. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the alliums and the poppies. So I don't have any dowel. I don't have any dowel for making the posts, and I didn't want to spend any money. And I'd been looking in the garden, and I knew that I needed to clear these out of the garden because they finished a while ago and they've dried out. And I figured all of this is pretty much wood. It's woody stalks. So the allium stalks I'm going to try and use for the bedposts, and then I've got a little idea for the poppy heads, which I'll show you in a second. So these are the allium stalks that I've cut to use for the bedposts. You'll notice they're a bit like woody straws. They've got a hollow centre. I'm just swapping one here because it was a little bit bent, so I needed obviously a straight one. So I've got 4 straight ones, all of similar diameter. And for the poppy head, I noticed that the base was really flat and it's got a lovely ornate natural pattern to it. So why not use it as a foot of the bed? So I chopped it with a bit of its stalk left, and I pushed it into the hole in the allium stalk, and it fit absolutely perfectly. I couldn't have had a better fit. So I did this 4 times, and made my 4 legs and 4 posts, and they hold themselves up without any support and without any glue. Before doing this, by the way, I did give them a really good shake to make sure that all the seeds have been dispersed into my garden. There are a few still on my table, but I'm going to scoop them up and scatter them as well. So this is what everything's looking like at the moment. Now I want my base to be risen off the ground a bit, so I'm using some of these spare pots that I didn't use earlier, just as a little stand to keep this up. Obviously I'll remove them once everything's stuck. And then I am going to stick these legs to the base of the bed. The nice thing about the fact that I've left some of the stalk on the poppy heads is that that is actually reinforcing the allium stalk. I am putting a little tiny bit of glue on here and twisting into the allium stalk just so that it's nice and secure, so that if I lift the bed up at any point the poppy heads don't fall out. Although they fit so snugly, I don't think they would have fallen out, but it's just an extra precaution. And then I'm just going to add a strip of glue here using my multi-purpose glue again, and then I am attaching it. Because the poppy head stands up by itself, it means I'm not really having to support anything here. I really love the patterns that are in the poppy heads. There's loads of examples in nature of beautiful patterns, so yeah, these poppy heads are just one of them. And I really like the fact that I've managed to just take them from my garden. They were going to go into the compost bin and I've not had to buy anything. So my only worry is that the allium stalks might shrivel as they dry out more, but they seem to be fully dry to me, so hopefully this will be a success. I am aware that everything's looking a little bit rough at the moment, that things need sanding, but I will be making sure that this is all finished nicely. This is just me getting the structure right first of all. So I'm just gluing each leg on in place, and then I'm going to have a little think about how to attach the top. So I am actually wondering whether I can turn these poppy heads the correct way around and use them as the support for the top. I'm not going to try it yet because I want the rest to dry first, but I might just trim them and slot them in to see what it looks like. And I am actually going to leave this video on a cliffhanger because there is so much still to do on this bed that I don't think I can attempt it all today. So I am going to leave you here in a minute, and please do come back tomorrow or whenever I next post this, depending on how long it will take, and let me know what you think of the bed. I am hoping that it's going to go right. It is starting to take shape, but I am a little bit concerned that it is too big for the room. So thank you for watching this video. I am going to leave it here with these poppy heads just pushed into the top for now. I'm going to leave it to dry and I will post a second part. Coming soon, please come back and watch it.